This is The Gorge. It's a podcast where my friend Sara and I gorge ourselves on overanalyzing a topic. The Gorge is brought to you by Ko-fi. That's ko-fi.com/thegorge. And give us money so that we can afford more games to talk about and do stuff with and afford.
Because video games keep coming out and they're really expensive.
This year's very busy and we need help. Please.
Please, we are jangling our cups on the side of the street. Spare a couple cents for some video games, sir. Please.
We'll stream for money.
We'll stream for cash. We'll absolutely play Astral Chain poorly on stream. If only you would be generous enough to give us the money to do so. So, yeah. Hey Ben, what are we talking about this week? This time I'm gonna ask you.
Well, this week we are, we had an idea, you had an idea suddenly, because of some recent events that happened.
And my brain is huge.
And you were like, hey, you know, there was a certain trailer that came out a few days ago, and it would be a good chance to talk about that. I'm of course talking about Project Revolution, the Resident Evil project
You motherfucker.
That's Left 4 Dead.
Right.
Which is...
Have you watched that trailer?
I did, it's really cool.
Okay, I haven't watched it at all.
It's Capcom going, hey, we're making a Left 4 Dead. Look at these Left 4 Dead mechanics.
Okay, yeah, I'm cool with that. That sounds dope.
But no, what we're really talking about is, hey, trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC Remind came out, and it's cool looking, and Sarah, I watched it and went, oh boy, and Sarah watched it and went, I don't get it.
I don't get it, but I know it looks cool. All I know is that it looks really Kino, and I'm just like, ooh, there's a guy with armor, and they're running at each other, and it looks shonen as shit, and I guess I have to pay attention now, because I'm into that kind of thing.
So, in order to get you prepped, because you are probably going to play it eventually, but...
Eventually. Not now, but eventually.
Let's do some prep work, though, and do another round of what the hell is Kingdom Hearts?
I think this is our third episode, because no one knows what the hell Kingdom Hearts is, except for you. You are the Lord and Master of Kingdom Hearts lore. Like we've said before, it is deadly and radioactive, and I am not certified to handle it, but Ben is. So, we're gonna go through it, we're gonna ask some questions, we're gonna get things sorted out, and maybe, by the end of it, I will have obtained even a modicum of understanding to be ready. I mean, I could probably just play these games, but also, like, your girl is trying to go to Japan, so even though the other day I saw that, like, all of them were on sale for $50, and that's, like, everything. Everything!
Not just the story so far, which is everything from 1 to 2.8. Mm-hmm. It's 3 is in there, too. It's the entire story. For $50, this is a pretty good deal.
It's a pretty good deal. I can't deny that it's a pretty good deal, but I'm also trying to purchase Astral Chain and maybe go to Japan at some point. So until I get back, I will have to instead rely. Why did I just forget the word rely? On your massive brain. So that being said, Benjamin, what is the Kingdom Hearts Remind DLC?
The Kingdom Hearts Remind DLC is an expansion on the last, I want to say 5 to 6 hours of Kingdom Hearts 3, the climax of the story. This DLC will be an expansion on the events that took place during that time, filling in a few gaps that were left ambiguous in regards to the plot. It also looks like it's going to retcon a few events to change things up, allowing you to play as different characters during certain boss fights. We have confirmation that Aqua and Riku will be playable alongside Sora. They were already playable in the base game of Kingdom Hearts 3, but not for those battles.
Right.
It will also serve to fill in what happened to Xion between 358 over 2 days and Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay.
It also, according to that trailer, looks like it's also expanding on the post-game stuff.
Yes. Okay.
And it's the first part of a 3-part DLC pack. It's also going to include, it looks like it's going to include the equivalent of the data fights from Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, where you fought the 13 members of Organization 13 in data battles. There was extra hard mode battles. And
I assume super bosses. There's going to be some addition of the usual Kingdom Hearts Fair super bosses.
Yes, it looks like we're going to get a few of those. I can't see any specifically in that trailer, but there is a fight with a few characters, and I'm like, that fight didn't happen in that location, so we'll see.
So the first jokey joke question is, will Sephiroth from the Final Fantasy VII Remake be in Kingdom Hearts 3?
So, I think...
Because Sephiroth's boss fights have been in all of them, and they didn't put in 3.
In all of the numbered ones, yeah, you've had the Sephiroth fight. So, I think my prediction for that is Sephiroth will not be in this one. This is a story-based pack. It would be weird if they just threw in a random arbitrary Sephiroth battle.
Right.
There are more DLC packs coming that seem to include different scenarios that are just like boss battles or challenge rooms or whatever. If there's going to be a Final Fantasy boss fight, it's going to be in there, and there's a 50-50 chance it would either be classic George Newbern Sephiroth or new voice Sephiroth from the remake.
Oh, but Tyler Hoechlin.
Yes.
Tyler Hoechlin? I don't know how to say that guy's name. Either way, you're getting Superman as Sephiroth again, which is, sure. I do hope it's George Newbern Sephiroth. They said that for all the expanded stuff, they're gonna keep the old voice cast, which please, God, please. So, let me see what's on my list. So the first and foremost thing is, so there's a lot of talk on Twitter and stuff about there being time travel in the DLC, and what do you think about that? And I know that it was a thing in Dream Drop Distance was the time travel one.
So there are multiple methods of time travel in Kingdom Hearts, and this actually gets called out in Kingdom Hearts 3. So one of the big things about Dream Drop Distance is that it reveals what Xehanort's plan is. And his plan is, I've said this before, where he's pulling past incarnations of himself into the modern time and using them as vessels for the 13 pieces of darkness against the 7 pieces of light that you need to clash to form Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
So that's his form of time travel. But people played Dream Drop Distance and said, wait a minute, there's time travel in Kingdom Hearts 2. You go back to the Timeless River in Disney Castle, back to the old-fashioned style of, cartoon map in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
That gets called out in that it's revealed that the reason Xehanort has to do this convoluted plan of pulling past members of himself and returning them the instant they left, because he doesn't know how to do Merlin's time travel.
Okay.
He just doesn't know how to do that spell, so he has to do this really roundabout way of it.
Okay, cool.
So in 3, there is another form of time travel, which kind of happens accidentally.
Okay.
In 3, when they go to the Keyblade Graveyard at the end of the game, they get wiped. The heroes get absolutely wiped.
Right.
That's that shot in the trailer of Sora falling to his knees and screaming.
Right.
In order to save them, Sora chases after a Heartless that took the not the hearts, but the essence of his friends. He chases it down and he fights them in different worlds. And by doing so, he manages to restore them. But the effect of restoring them is so great that it actually knocks them a few moments back in time. So they have a chance to try again.
Okay, so it's almost kind of like everybody got the game over, try again screen.
Yeah, it's a save state. It's you lost, you rewind time and you try again.
Right. Okay.
So
I love Undertale.
And it's looking like Remind might go into that more in depth. There's a bit in the trailer where the Kyrithi talks about how this isn't the first time he's tried that, and there's a scene where he says that Kyrie is okay, and the Kyrithi says, "Yeah, but this time things are different," talking about how this might not be the first time he's tried that loop.
That's kind of neat.
Now,
because we love us some time loops around here.
Mm-hmm. That might also tie into the very, very end of the game, which is where, by the end of the game, so Sora saves everyone, they go back in time and try again. This time, Kyrie gets taken out by Xehanort. Sora does the same trick again to bring her back, but the cost of that is that he fades away at the end. So the scene...
Why?
Because he uses an ability called the Power of Awakening. Or the Power of Waking, which is, it's an ability that allows you to revive people who have fallen. It's not restoring. It's a way of restoring their hearts. He trained it to use it on Ven to wake him up.
Right.
But it's a power that comes at a cost, and Sora does it 7 times. And so there's a bit when he does that where it talks about how it's a power to traverse worlds to save heart, or to traverse hearts to save worlds, not the other way around. So what he's using is he's traversing worlds to save. He's basically doing the thing he should be doing, but in reverse.
Right.
And so that causes a backlash, and that's why he fades away at the end. It's because he did it too many times, and it caused him to fade away.
And he wakes up in Shibuya?
Yes.
Okay. And it's like a Shibuya with the Final Fantasy Versus 13 guys in it.
It's also... Well, no. Okay, so here's the thing.
I know it's not actually the Final Fantasy Versus 13 guys, but it's... But Nomura's bitter.
But here's the thing. Yes and no. Because people looked at that trailer again, and I watched that trailer again. Sora ends up in Shibuya. He specifically ends up in the Shibuya from the world that never was, because there's a building in there that doesn't exist in real world Japan, and only exists in the world that never was.
Stop!
Riku.
So it's not like real Shibuya.
Riku ends up in Shinjuku.
Okay.
With the
like
Verum Rex crew.
So then Riku and Sora aren't in the same place in that. Because I watched both secret endings, and I got some fucking questions about that.
Yeah, so, but that's the thing, is that, and this also ties into Dream Drop Distance and ties into Toy Box in Kingdom Hearts 3. The plot of Dream Drop Distance involves Sora and Riku traveling to different versions of the same world. Like a mirror reflection of the world.
Right.
Now in Dream Drop Distance, it's because they're sleeping worlds, and you can exist in different permutations of a dream.
Yeah, of course.
So dream magic means that they aren't really like traveling to that world, they're traveling to a dream version of that world, and they exist in parallel versions of it. And so,
yeah, but you can have two different dreams of the same place.
Yeah, and so that's why they are in the same location, but they're on different journeys, and they kind of very roughly interact with each other in certain ways.
Okay.
So that's important because in Dream Drop Distance, the World That Never Was crew shows up, and they are specifically unlike other Final Fantasy or Square Enix characters like Cloud or Aerith or Yuffie, who are like parallel versions of their Final Fantasy iteration. Like
Oh, you mean the world? You mean the world ends with?
Oh, am I saying the world ends with? I'm saying sorry. The world ends with you. Yeah, sorry. The world ends with you.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay. I was actually kind of confused because the world that never was
is the Kingdom Hearts.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, Nomura, we gotta have a conversation real fast about your similar naming of things.
Hey, how much do you want to bet that'll end up being intentional somehow?
God, shut up.
But no, okay. So the Cloud in Kingdom Hearts is not the Cloud from Midgar. Right? It's just a guy named Cloud who has a big sword and he lives in Hollow Bastion.
Right.
The world that ends with you characters are explicitly said to be refugees from their world that Joshua brought over into the dream version of Traverse Town to save them when their world collapsed.
You do know this means you have to play.
I know. It means I have to play The World Ends With You, which is a good game. And I think it's on the Switch now, so I have a good chance to play it.
It is on the Switch now, actually. So I'm
gonna pick that up because I want more random Nomura goodness.
I actually, this is like a tangent, but whatever. I actually did play The World Ends With You. Back when it first came out, I played like the first couple hours of it. It's good. It's actually a pretty good video game. Yeah. It's interesting. I don't know how the dual screen mechanic is gonna work on the Switch.
Also the touch thing, because like Switch has a touch screen, but like it's not like its focus anymore. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get it, because like the whole deal was that you had a character, like you were in control of one character, and I think you could switch between that. God, it's been so long since I played that game. I guess you could still just swap between them? I don't know.
Well, I know it was also ported to the phones, and it worked pretty well on the phone, so they probably figured out just a way to rearrange the screen to make it better.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just that both characters are on screen at the same time, like fighting things, and you just swap between them, I think, maybe. I don't know. It was an interesting game. I really liked it, but I had to put it down because I was working at GameStop at the time, and I was renting it, because GameStop employees can rent games, and somebody wanted it, and my boss was like, "You gotta give it back, Sarah." I'm like, "Man, okay, fine." So then I never got to finish it, but this means that you'll have to play it and tell me all about that one too.
But yeah, it's also interesting, like, because that cast explicitly says to Sora, "Hey, we'll meet again." And in Kingdom Hearts, that's not just a throwaway line you say to your friends when you're leaving. That means something.
Right. Oh no.
And also in the trailer, in that last trailer, when Sora wakes up and stands up, the first thing he does is look at his left hand.
Okay.
Because that's where the Reaper numbers appear.
Oh! God, what if... what? Okay. God, I hate Tetsuya Nomura so much sometimes. Like, he does all of this extremely raw shit, but then also sometimes he's just like, I'm just gonna throw information at you, and God help you if you don't keep up. And I'm like... I respect the hustle, my man, but also I'm dying, and I don't have this much time to play all your stupid video games.
So, this is an important thing, and this is why I hate when people say, "Hey, can I just read the wiki to play these games?" No. It's important that you actually play them, because
there's so much.
Reading the story is not the same, because there's things like visual callbacks or certain lines of dialogue that get repeated that are really, really important, or like mantras or all these little details that are actually in the game themselves that end up being super important later.
What if fucking Kingdom Hearts 3 is also a stealth sequel to The World Ends With You? Because Nomura is just like really bitter that he didn't get to make the sequel to that game either. Like he's mad that he didn't get to make Versus 13. He's mad that he didn't get to make a sequel to The World Ends With You.
I really feel like one of the reasons Nomura climbed his way to being like the authority at Square Enix is so that he could finally just make all the things he wasn't allowed to make earlier. like when Kingdom Hearts 3 got put out and was a massive success, and they actually allowed him to take all these risks with the game and all these risks with a remake of 7. It's like, oh hey, maybe we were wrong to cancel Versus 13.
Maybe you should have let Versus 13 be a musical. Who knows? Maybe it would have been awesome.
It would have been raw as fuck.
Shit, what have we done?
So
instead of this gray sludge we got with 15 instead. Oh, man.
So this is like all these really important things, and all this to say that like, there are hints in the Remind trailer that we're going to see like what Sora did to save Kairi.
Okay.
Which is there's a lot of things in the last 5-6 hours of the game that are like, oh, that was cool. They didn't go into detail, but like the result is really cool, and you don't really need the details for it. But now we're getting the details anyway.
So it's okay. Yeah. We love details around here. We love to see it. Okay. Go ahead.
It's also worth noting, and I don't know if I made this entirely clear. They died.
Yeah, like everybody died. Like Kairi died.
They didn't lose their hearts. They didn't get consumed by darkness. They died, and Sora cheated death to bring them all back.
The boy's too good.
The idea at the end of 3 is that he's dead, and that's why he's end up in Shibuya playing the Reaper's game.
Oh my god, that's right!
Because he's dead.
Oh my god! Because he's dead, and everybody playing that game is... Oh my god! Oh my god. Yo, but for real, what if Kingdom Hearts 4 is just The World Ends With You 2?
I mean, it very well could be. At this point, it very well could be.
Anything is fucking possible.
The arbitrary significance of explicitly stating that, no, these Square Enix characters are the Square Enix characters. Is like, oh, that's gonna mean something later. That's not just a throwaway thing. Because, like, in a way... The Twewy cast is the most important final...
Don't say... I'm gonna come across the internet and slap you in the mouth. Don't ever say Twewy to me again.
Fine.
That's horrible.
I don't want to keep saying The World With You, so fine. Neku and Friends?
Twewy... Wait, what?
Neku and Friends?
Neku... Twewy sounds like hello, okay? Alright?
Okay.
Then perish.
Fine, but Neku and Friends are like the most important Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts because they're the actual versions.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah. They actually are going to have, like, a huge plot significance.
The World Ends With You is just a prequel to Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah. Like, 10 years in the making. Sure. Okay. I guess so. That's fine. Mm-hmm. You know what? That actually makes a lot of sense with, like, how Kingdom Hearts, all the designs in The World Ends With You are. Mm-hmm. Like, you look at them and they're all super Kingdom Hearts as fuck. Like, they're not Final Fantasy. They're explicitly, like, Kingdom Hearts, like looking, you know,
the thin limbs and like big hands, the
big feet,
the really cartoony style proportions. Yeah, it really does make sense.
See, but what did I fucking tell you? Did I not tell? I fucking told you when we were talking about this a few months ago. Honestly, I was like, yo, but what if the next Kingdom Hearts has like way less Disney stuff? And it's like, what if I'm right? I mean, if it's like a stealth sequel to The World Ends With You, it could be like a weird, less... I mean, it'll probably still have like Donald and Goofy and Mickey, but like, you know?
I see. The problem I have with that is that at its core, every single Kingdom Hearts game has been about, through some way or another, visiting the Disney World. That's the gameplay loop, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, like...
So, there...
Didn't Nomura say this is the end of the first phase?
Yeah, it's the end of the first saga, yeah.
Yeah.
I think...
Marvel stories changed after phase 1. Marvel movie stories, I mean.
I mean, yeah, okay. But I think what they're going to do with the next one is, because I think we're due for the lower tier games, kind of like Chain of Memories or Dream Drop Distance.
Yeah.
It's going to be less worlds. I think Dream Drop Distance had what it had: Grid, Notre Dame.
God, I forgot that Notre Dame is in fucking Kingdom Hearts.
Fantasia, Three Musketeers.
Something about the fact of like Notre Dame specifically being in Kingdom Hearts makes me feel like I'm going insane. Because like Notre Dame is like dark. and it's about, I mean, it has those fucking gargoyles that ruin that movie.
But also
Notre Dame in general is just like really, really dark. It has like a woman be burned at the stake.
It's also like explicitly about religion, which is a weird thing they had to dance around in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
in Dream Drop Distance.
It's explicitly, I mean, like, God, Lindsay Ellis in her video about Notre Dame is basically saying that, like, Frollo is in opposition to Quasimodo, and since Quasimodo is kind of like an angel in, like, a weird way, he's, in that way, like, Frollo is in opposition to God, you know? And so it's like, boy, I mean, there's a lot of, like, I mean, like, the fucking, like, Ave Maria chants and stuff, like, Kyrie eleison is in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and it's like, yeah, let's just put this in Kingdom Hearts, no big deal.
They do a good job of dancing around not explicitly ever saying the word God.
I know.
And it's like, it's
just so weird. Also, I don't think Tony J was dead by then, right?
Yeah, that was
sad.
Who was it that always does that? Corey Burton.
Patrick Seitz. Oh,
Corey
okay.
Burton. He does all the old people in Kingdom Hearts now.
Oh, okay. Well, at least he's got, you know, job security.
Mm-hmm. I think he's also like just like the standard old guy for like Disney too. Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
You
know, did you know Tony J played an Elder God once? By the way, this is such a tangent, but
no, I love voice actor discussions. It's so great. It's so much fun.
I do too. Yeah, Tony J played like an actual like betentacled eldritch horror, which is probably the most like apt usage of his voice literally ever. He in the Legacy of Kain franchise, which is like one of my favorite like formative video game franchises growing up, and he plays it's called like the Elder God. That's just his name, and he's like a kind of like a Cthulhu-esque thing, and it's just like every time I hear Frollo, I'm just like, the Elder God. I love Soul Reaver. That franchise is dead as fuck.
Oh, that's never coming back. I'm sorry.
That franchise is super dead, and it sucks because it's. Man, speaking of voice acting, like, real quick, again, the voice acting in Soul Reaver is so fucking aces, and it always has been. Like, back in the day, when voice acting in video games was bad, there was Legacy of Kain, like, the first one, and it was so good, and it just stayed that way for literally ever. They had, like, real voice, like, real, like stage actors doing like Shakespeare in your fucking like, you know, your fucking 3D adventure, you know, action game. It's like, man, Soul Reaver is dead forever. It sucks.
It's never getting a reboot.
God, I would give anything for like a weird stealth sequel to Legacy of Kain, and then just have Raziel just show. I know he's kind of. Am I allowed to spoil a game that came, like, Defiance came out, like, 10 years ago? He's kind of dead at the end of, like, Defiance, sort of.
I mean, you want to talk about weird time travel bullshit, like Legacy of Kain.
That game makes your brain hurt, because it's just, oh, God, there is so much weird time travel shit in Legacy of Kain, like, and I think technically Blood Omen 2 is non-canon, like... It's called Blood Omen 2, but I'm at least 85% sure that it's not canon. It's like a weird offshoot thing. It's terrible, by the way. Okay, sorry. Anyways, Dream Drop Distance, less worlds, you were saying.
There's about 6 Disney worlds in Dream Drop Distance, like, and that's a low number compared to like the other games. No. Actually, Coded has the least Disney worlds because it only has 3.
Oh.
And so like I can see them cutting down in the Disney levels in the next game, but it's still gonna be you find a way to go to a Disney World and explore there. Now, the thing that I think might be interesting is that if this is going to be Sora is dead, and it's the Reaper's game, there's a lot of Disney movies that have an underworld.
I actually, I did see one theory, and I super love it, but that's because, like, I'm a little burnt out on, like, Disney brands, but you know what I'm not burnt out on? Is Disney parks. And I heard one thing say that it was going to be based more around attractions. I heard somebody talk about that. And the very idea of, like, a Haunted Mansion level makes me want to be dead from excitement. Just of how cool that sounds.
And I mean, like, they did put the attraction flows in, which were just Disney park rides.
They're just Disney park rides. Now imagine a whole world. I mean, I know we have like a Pirates of the Caribbean world, but like explicitly based on the ride, and like a Matterhorn or like a Haunted Mansion. god, that would be Space Mountain would be so cool.
That would be a really cool thing.
Yeah, because Tokyo Disney is like right there.
You know,
I know. Now that you're thinking about it, it gets you really hype, right?
I'm thinking it would be really cool. How could they do that?
I mean, like, literally, Tokyo Disney is, like, right there. That's the thing.
So,
and if you're in, like, Shibuya and Shinjuku...
So, the way they could incorporate that is... So, the way that Disney Town was incorporated into Birth by Sleep was explicitly Scrooge McDuck giving little baby Ventus 3 tickets to the town for the festivities. Right. And it's explicitly set up like, here, lad, here's some free passes to Disney World. And go take your parents with you to Disney World.
Oh my god.
So, like, you could totally do that in Shibuya. Set it up like, hey, come to this theme park. And it's a whole world that's all just about theming set up for Disney rides.
Yeah, and then you don't have to, like, really fool with, like... Because, like, I know you love Kingdom Hearts 3, and that, I mean, I get it. But, like, you gotta admit that Kingdom Hearts 3 kind of smells a little bit of Disney meddling, considering all of the Disney worlds are, like, stuff that's coming out recently.
So there is explicit, like, feedback of, like, Nomura being like, yeah, Disney kind of cracked down and made us include certain things. Now, things like Toy Story and Monsters, Inc. were stuff that he wanted to include from the beginning.
Right. But it is pretty synchronistic that Toy Story 4 came out in the same year as Kingdom Hearts 3.
That's probably why they let him do it. And, like, also to be fair, he's kind of running out of new movies, and he's, like, old movies anyway, like, he did most of them already. But, no, you're right, like Frozen and Tangled and,
Big Hero 6.
Big Hero 6, yeah.
Which is getting a sequel, like, you know... It's
like,
kind of like...
Frozen, especially just having 2 of the songs arbitrarily in the game is, like...
Just full songs, like, reeks of Disney sticking their fingers in
Not even, like Atlantica, where it was a rhythm game. No, it's just, here's a cutscene where they sing the song.
And Sora's kind of hanging out really awkwardly in the background, yeah. Yeah. So, like... My thinking, and I mean, like, this is just me, like, if we were spitballing, like, a Kingdom Hearts game that I would get super hyped for, not just be like, oh, that looks cool, you know, but, like, a Kingdom Hearts game that would make me froth at the mouth, at the very top of the list is Kingdom Hearts game, but it's Disney World.
I mean,
but it's just Disney Parks.
It would be fucking super cool to go to, like, a haunted mansion and have that just be a level.
Yes! Oh my god! And you have to like do like all the stuff that you have to do in a Disney world, but it's Disney parks instead. You know, like the Big Thunder Mountain and Space Mountain and Haunted Mansion and oh god, fuck! A Tower of Terror would be so cool.
I'm just imagining. God. What if the Tower of Terror was Kingdom Hearts Bloody Palace? And you just...
God, that's so cool! Shut up!
You just go up every floor and you fight new enemies up every...
just fight new... God, shut up! That's really dope, though, actually. See? That would be so cool. And plus, like, Tokyo Disney, they could use stuff from Tokyo Disney, and oh my god, Tokyo Disney is just, like, raw. It's so cool. Like, everything in Tokyo... we can't do this. I love theme parks, and, if we didn't already have, like, an itinerary for Disney or for Tokyo in November, I would be, like, insisting we do Tokyo Disney. But it's also kind of expensive, even though it's, like, really cool. But yeah, no, Tokyo Disney has, like, really, like, cool shit. And they have, like, an aquatic world that, like, Disney Florida and Disney California just don't have. And their Space Mountain is really cool and all kinds of stuff like that. So, like, yeah, I would love that. If we're gonna do, you know, Sora and fucking Shibuya, then, like, by God, give me some Disney rides and I'll be the biggest Kingdom Hearts fan on the planet. I would be, like, at the head of that line to pick that game up. Are you kidding me? So, How did we even get on this topic, Ben?
We were talking about just what the next game would be like.
Okay.
The format of the next game.
How Sora would become, how Sora ended up in Shibuya. One of my questions on my list is, why are they in Shibuya? Mm-hmm. So I guess we answered that question, kind of.
Now, so, as another note, just like, I think the next one will not be Kingdom Hearts 4. I think it will be a interquel. Because it's Sora alone. And Sora alone usually means it's interquel.
Right.
He didn't have Donald and Goofy in there were no side character partners in Days, in Birth by Sleep, in Coded, in Dream No Distance. You had the Dream Eaters instead of full allies. They were just your Pokemon that you switched in and out.
Right.
So if it's gonna be Sora and Riku alone, then it'll probably be an interquel.
Okay, that's interesting. So next question is, what's up with Zigbar?
Oh boy!
Because
you got 4 hours. What isn't up with Zigbar? It turns out.
Ben, you know how long these fucking episodes run, so just buckle up. Let's do it.
What isn't up with Zigbar? Actually, is a better question.
How about that?
Turns out he's been around since the beginning. The literal beginning. Way, 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 way back. So I like it. I like the back cover movie that was on the 2.8 disc. I think it's a really cool movie. You might be the only person. It's a 50-minute movie that's all about the foretellers and about the guild, that's the 5 guilds that are in the mobile game Unchained X, or Union Cross. Actually, it's Union Cross now. Fuck.
Cucks.
Yeah. And it's about their backroom dealings and how their alliance falls apart. And at the front of it is, or not at the front of it, but the Master of Masters, who is the hooded man in black, the first hooded man in the black coat, has an apprentice named Lushu.
Yes.
And he is also a hooded figure in a black cloak. He is given the no-name Keyblade, which is the really...
That's the one that could see through time.
Yes, it's the one that has the Master of Masters' eye in it so that he can see through time.
Yes.
He grants that to Lushu.
Okay. History
happens. Somehow it ends up in Xehanort's possession.
Right.
Xehanort promises to bequeath the no-name to one of his followers, Zigbar, because he forms an alliance with him in Birth by Sleep, back when he was Braig.
Yeah.
Turns out at the very end of Kingdom Hearts, and so for a while, Sora doesn't believe Zigbar when he talks about being a Keyblade wielder. Because Sora thinks there is no way that Zigbar could ever wield a Keyblade, doesn't think he has the potential for it. Cue the very, very end of Kingdom Hearts 3, where Zigbar calls forth the foretellers from somewhere. That's a discussion I'll get to in a minute.
Okay, good, because that's about to ask.
Calls them forth from somewhere and reveals that he has been Lushu the entire time.
You motherfucker.
But he hasn't gone by that name in a while, and it's also, he must have changed his appearance because Zigbar's voice actor does not voice Lushu in the back cover movie.
But they also, the other foreteller people, I watched that ending. Yeah. I was very confused, because obviously I don't know anything about Kingdom Hearts. But I did watch that ending because I like Zigbar. And they don't recognize him, right?
They recognize him, they know it's him, but they don't recognize his face. So
Yeah, exactly.
So the thing is, either what he's done is he's managed to find a way to cheat immortality by reincarnating as a different person, kind of like the Doctor.
Yeah.
Or he's body hopping like Xehanort did, just more more and more times.
More often.
Yeah, and more linear than Xehanort did.
Yeah, it's not a big fucking mess like Xehanort, right. I guess.
So it's unclear. There's literally no answer to how he's been lived this long. Other characters that are like from that time period have like a method or some way that they've come past the Keyblade War.
Yeah, because isn't Marluxia from back then?
Yeah,
because his sister is in Unchained X.
Marluxia, Larxene, and Ventus are from before then.
Okay. Ventus. Wait, really?
Yeah, Ventus too, which is a big surprise, and I still don't know exactly how he got to the modern time.
Okay.
I know that I think it's been referenced or explained how Marluxia and Larxene did it, but I don't. Okay. But like, it hasn't been explained how Xigbar's done it because again, Xigbar looks different than Luxu.
Right.
So he obviously had a different method. So he brings the foretellers in from somewhere. And in the secret journals for Kingdom Hearts 3, we get introduced to the idea of world lines.
Okay.
World lines are parallel realities.
No! You gotta go. All right, podcast is over. We're done. No. We're not doing this fucking game where we have time travel and parallel reality. No, I'm sorry. Nomura is canceled. We're done. Kingdom Hearts is over. I'm out of here.
So the idea is that probably Luxu, or maybe the foretellers themselves, in order to preserve themselves, hopped dimensions, chilled out until Xigbar brought them back.
Okay.
Now it's probably going to be a bigger deal in later games, but again, this is Kingdom Hearts. The how is not important.
Right.
Like the inner working mechanics of certain things are not important.
Right, because it's like a fairy tale.
It's a fairy tale. If you were to read a fairy tale where it's like, and then the fairies banished, or then the fairies sent the princess off to a different world where she would live until it was safe to come out. You'd be like, okay, that's fine. It's a fairy tale. The fairies can do that. Whatever.
Right.
So
right. Tracks.
It's a fairy tale. They went to a different dimension. How? Why? What? It's not really important.
Don't worry about it.
The how the spell works doesn't matter. It's that the spell worked. Mm-hmm. But it's just another layer of things that added on.
Oh God! I can already I can see. I am peering into the future, seeing No Name Keyblade. I am seeing into the future an episode where I'm like, please explain these alternate worlds bullshit to me. I can see that episode in my mind.
And then I'm gonna be like, oh, that's easy actually, because the thing that people don't seem to get about Kingdom Hearts is that when the villain stands there and talks for 15 minutes, he's telling you important information that you should listen to.
I know.
And I know for the most it's because in other JRPGs, the villain would be waxing philosophical and saying shit that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
You know? Like fucking Artorias in Berseria, why do birds fly? Fuck you. Shut up.
Shut up. We know why birds fly. Shut up.
When Xehanort explains why birds fly, it's because it's going to be important later.
Xehanort is here to tell you the Kingdom Hearts explanation for why birds fly, and I promise you it is canon and real.
When Xehanort tells you that a bird flies because its heart desires it, you can know that bird has an actual heart, and that desire fuels its ability to fly. And that's going to be important later when Sora learns how to channel his desires into greater power.
Oh my God, stop.
That's the difference.
Oh God, it's horrible and I love it.
It's the idea of when Master Van is talking about some bullshit, you can zone out and just press the X button. When Xehanort's talking some bullshit, you should have a notepad out and be writing it down.
No, this is going to be important in 10 years in Kingdom Hearts 6, I promise. Oh God, that's just... Yeah... Okay, sure. Alternate realities. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck not? I feel like every time you explain Kingdom Hearts to me, I become that John Mulaney joke where I'm like, this might as well be happening. Kingdom Hearts life is already so goddamn weird.
It's the idea of like when I say they went to an alternate reality, your response should be, "Oh, okay."
Oh, okay.
Not wait, how does that work? Because the answer is, I don't know, they haven't explained it yet, so don't worry about it yet.
Don't worry about it, it's fine.
It's the idea of like, well, the characters haven't brought this up, so it's probably not important right now.
Oh my god. Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Carry on. So, Zigbar is Lushu. I knew that part, and it's all complicated. It's all complicated.
Again, this is all very important because like throughout the entirety of Zigbar's like existence in the franchise, he has been desiring the ability to wield the Keyblade. And from 2 and Birth by Sleep and other games, we thought it was just jealousy that know these characters that have vested him have this power that he can't obtain. Right. Whereas the truth is, no, he wants it because it's part of his destiny. He is destined to inherit this ability because he sees the future and he knows what's going to happen.
But he can't actually wield a Keyblade, right?
He can't yet. Like, he couldn't wield No Name because Xehanort hadn't bequeathed it to him yet.
Right.
His whole thing was that he was waiting for Xehanort to do that.
So now that Xehanort is like canonically dead,
he's dead,
right?
He's dead.
Okay.
He died.
Him and Arrakis, they just straight up
died.
Died,
yeah,
right?
They died. They're gone. Don't worry about them anymore.
All right, they're cool. They're not even an issue anymore.
So yeah, there technically probably isn't anything stopping Zigbar from picking up No Name now and wielding it like he should.
Yeah.
So that'll probably be something that happens in the next game.
Okay, cool. So this really shady guy can now see into the future. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay. So then I guess I gotta ask also, because I know like we saw this in the last trailer too. Do we know what's up with Luxord? Because he seems like important now.
So, where do I start? Okay, so...
Oh, God. Anytime you say that, I get nervous, and I'm like, I shouldn't ask that. I want to go home.
There's a bit in the game where Xehanort is talking to the not Xehanort members of the new organization. So, like, he didn't fill out his entire ranks of people who are him. You know, he also hired a lot of the old organization members.
Right.
He says to some of them that they are going to fulfill their role as people who were like he's talking to the cast from Union Cross, and he's saying you're going to fulfill the role that was laid out for you way back then. Luxord, at the end when he's defeated, he gives Sora a card. And he says that card will be Sora's trump card for later.
Okay.
And again, remember, Kingdom Hearts 3 ends with Sora dying.
And so Sora never actually uses the card.
Luxord gives him the card and says, you can use it as your trump card later. And then Sora dies at the end of the game. And then he wakes up in Shibuya.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's that small role, big impact thing, you know? Luxord's whole business and deal, besides really wanting to be a pirate, is
which I mean, respectable.
Yeah, I also want Jack Sparrow as my eternal rival. That would be fucking dope. But like his whole deal beyond that, we don't know. He is one of the few like characters who's like. Yeah, he's still very much an unknown. Like, a lot of the organization members, we've seen what their role was before becoming members of the organization. Luxeus, Zaldin, Larxene, all them. Like, we've seen, like, some of them used to work in Radiant Garden. Some of them were from Union Cross, etc., etc. Luxord's still kind of a big unknown. He still just kind of seems to be, like, the odd man out in that, like, he's just there.
Okay.
But I'm betting he's going to be important later because of that card. It's also worth noting that out of all of them, Luxord is the most, like, a mercenary, I would say.
Right.
He never really seemed super loyal to the cause.
He's just kind of in it for
profit, for...
He wants to be a pirate.
Yeah, I mean, his whole boss battle in 2 is just like, they see him, he goes, I'd rather skip the formalities, and they fight.
I mean, yeah, sure, I respect that.
Yeah. So, it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what him, and especially, actually, now that I think about it, Demix is also a big unknown.
I was literally about to ask you, is Demix going to be important?
So Demix also had a pretty big role in 3, but like not like a small role, but a big impact in that him and Evan were brought into Xehanort's group as backups.
Wait, who's Evan?
Evan is Vexen.
Oh, okay.
The
blonde guy.
The blonde ice guy, yeah. They were brought in as backups. Vexen was brought in specifically because he can make replicas, which replicas were used to house the hearts of the past Xehanorts while they were in modern time.
I love Tales of the Abyss.
I know, Tales of the Abyss is so good. Evan even kind of looks like Jade a little bit, and he kind of acts like Jade.
Shut up! I'm gonna slap you in the mouth. How dare you say that about my favorite Tales character? I've seen that guy, alright? That's probably the rudest thing you've ever said to me on this podcast, and we are now, mortal enemies. Alright?
So, eventually... Evan reveals that he's only working with them so that he can get access to the technology to make replicas, not to help the organization, but because he wants to atone for what he did by saving Namine and Roxas.
Okay.
So that's why he has Demix bring replica bodies to the Radiant Garden crew so that they can use those to bring Roxas and Namine back later.
Which is kind of what happens at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yep, that's what happened. That's why Namine and Roxas can come back. Is because Evan and Demix betray the organization and go back to working with the Radiant Garden crew.
Okay, well, I guess good for them.
Yeah.
Mostly good for Roxas and Namine, who are two characters I did imprint on heavily while playing Kingdom Hearts 2. So that's good. Although Namine doesn't really get to, do anything in Kingdom Hearts 3. I heard that once, too. I heard that she doesn't really get to, be a character. And I'm like, poor Namine.
No, but she does she is going to be, fully fleshed in Remind.
Yeah, I did see that. She's, a thing in that one, so maybe she actually gets to be a character now. Good for her.
And she also has a really cute conversation with Sora at the, in the final world when he's dead.
It's fine. Sometimes you just have conversations when you're dead. And don't worry about it.
It's one of my favorite jokes in the entire thing, entire series actually, is she agrees to help help out as however she can, to guide the heroes in her own way. And Sora thanks her. And then he quickly clarifies that's not the real thank you he still owes her. Because now is not the time for that. And he wants them both to be fully restored and alive before he can actually properly thank her for real. Which is an ongoing joke that has been continuing since 2006.
Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah, because the whole thank Namine thing in Chain of Memories, right?
No,
oh god.
Yeah, it still hasn't been resolved. The official.
Oh my god! Just thank the girl and get it over with.
The official, real thank you from Sora to Namine has not happened yet.
Sure. Okay. Oh my god. That's amazing.
He wants to make it special for her.
Yes, he's a good boy. Mm-hmm. He's a nice boy. So everybody is kind of important in a way. Okay. See, I knew we wouldn't have a hard time filling an hour with this. So, you answered, the other question I had is what happened with Kairi, but the answer is she died.
Yep.
So that, that's cool. And my other question was, what's up with Sora? And we kind of answered that one. So the last question is one I actually gave you a heads up about. Because I wanted to make sure you were prepared. Mm-hmm. So, Ben, this is one you did your reading for. What the hell is the Sleeping Worlds theory?
Okay, so the Sleeping Realm theory is a fan theory that was crafted shortly after Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. TLDR... the idea is that I mentioned earlier that they use time travel, or Sora unintentionally used time travel to revive his friends during the Keyblade graveyard so they could try again.
Okay.
The Sleeping Realm theory is the idea that instead of going back to the Keyblade graveyard incident, they went back to damn near the beginning of the game instead.
Okay.
And it's a theory that I don't personally agree with. I think they make a lot of really, really good points, and I understand people do agree with it. I don't agree with it, not because I find the stuff they say to be incorrect, but because I don't get attached to fan theories for a series like this, because that's setting myself up for disappointment.
Right.
When you get yourself too attached to an idea, you are setting yourself up to be wrong way more often than you are to be correct, unless you're, like, really, really, really good at reading into, like, subtext.
Right, yeah, of course.
But something that's this big has so many opportunities to fail, but it makes a lot of good points.
Okay.
So the idea is that they are entering a sort of sleeping world in the second go of it. It's not saying that this is a dream, it's that it didn't happen, because dreams are real in Kingdom Hearts, for one thing.
Right.
And for another thing, like, it's a do-over, but, like, the way the do-over happens kind of puts the characters into a sort of more, like, slightly more ethereal world.
Okay.
There are a few things that kind of illustrate this. For one is that one of Sora's summons is a Dream Eater.
Great.
In 3, you get a handful of summons. You get a Dream Eater, you get a Meow Wow as a summon, you get Ralph, Ariel, Simba, and Stitch.
Okay.
Now, Wreck-It Ralph, Ariel, Stitch, and Simba are all, when you summon them, they're all in a sort of elemental state.
Right, yeah.
Ariel looks like...
I've seen
Yeah,
it.
Ariel looks like sea foam, Simba looks like fire, Wreck-It Ralph looks like a digital, like, hologram. Yeah. The Dream Eater doesn't. The Meow Wow just looks like a regular Meow Wow.
Okay.
So the idea is that you are kind of summoning forth a regular old Dream Eater, not a elemental summon version of them. Like,
right.
it's a Dream Eater, which can only exist in sleeping worlds.
Oh.
There's another thing. Sora has the ability to use flow motion, which is a dream no distance mechanic that Sora takes advantage, learns because dreams are ethereal and you can kind of, manipulate physics in them. And the thing is that the flow motion things are not just game mechanics; they are explicitly stated as abilities Sora has in game. There's a bit in the Big Hero 6 in San Francisco where Big Hero 6 analyzes his abilities to enhance their own equipment. And one of them is him running alongside the walls like he can do in Dream No Distance and in the game, in the game.
Right.
There are a few other things that are just kind of like weird. There's a bit where when Sora first gets to Twilight Town, he says a few times that it feels like it's been forever since he's been there. When in game it's only been like a few days. The Twilight Town trio, Hayner, Pence, and Olette, are still said to be on summer vacation, which was like going to end at Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, exactly.
So now this could just be a joke at how long it took between 2 and 3 to come out. Sora's like, it's been forever since we've been here, and it's like, it's been a week.
But no, not really.
Yeah. But it also could be because Sora's doing this over.
Yeah.
And so to him, it's been a while since he's been there.
Yeah.
There's also the fact that in the Caribbean, Sora, Donald, and Goofy can breathe underwater and talk underwater, which is an ability that only exists when they're in dream worlds or in simulations of certain worlds.
Yeah, because it wouldn't have actual drowning water physics.
Yeah, and the other thing is explicitly, Jack can't. When you swim underwater in the Caribbean, Jack states he's going to stay on the ship because he can't breathe and talk underwater. And again, this is important because in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, Donald explicitly had to turn the trio into merfolk so they could be in Atlantica. Like, otherwise they would drown. So it's not just like breathing underwater is just like a thing you can train to do, like in Final Fantasy X. Yeah. It's like they have to find a way to work around it.
Wow. Okay.
So there's a few of these like
little weird things,
like oddities, and like the way shots are framed that is like, maybe this isn't like the first time they've done this.
And I mean, like, there is that whole, they said in the Remind trailer about doing it again, right?
Yeah, so the running theory I've seen lately is that, like, what Remind will be is Sora trying multiple times to save Kairi and having to do it over and over and over again, which is why he fades away at the end, is because he overworked himself.
Right.
Like I said, there's all these like these little quirks, things like Riku and Sora's hair changing after a certain point, which is indicative of a change in state of reality. Riku's hair gets shorter during a scene when he gets knocked unconscious, when he gets in a battle in the Realm of Darkness.
In Kingdom Hearts 3, his hair actually gets shorter.
In 3, like, he noticeably gets shorter hair. This is something that doesn't go stated by other characters, even though Kairi's haircut goes noted by Axel. So it's not just like, they went through a redesign, and like, it's not like that. It's like, something's weird about Riku's hair getting cut.
Right.
Almost like he's doing it over, and it's not quite the same sequence of events as it was last time.
Okay. Wow. That's actually kind of interesting.
The one that I think is the most significant, like the biggest like thing that like caught my attention about this, is the idea that so when you do your dive to the heart in Kingdom Hearts 3, that actually takes place during the Keyblade Graveyard. Like the intro like tutorial mode takes place when Sora gets killed. And has to go back and try again to save everyone.
Yeah.
You fight a dark side in there, kind of like you do in Kingdom Hearts 1, but the dark side is this watery effect instead of being like the dark purple design.
Yeah.
When Kairi gets killed in Kingdom Hearts 3, her body turns to that same style.
Ooh.
So the idea is that the Kairi that exists in Kingdom Hearts 3 might not be exactly Kairi, and her heart might be resting within Sora again.
Okay.
Because when Kairi gets killed, she doesn't have a heart that releases.
Yeah.
In Union Cross, when a character gets killed in a similar manner, they do have a heart that flies out of their body.
Okay, but So
the idea is that this Kairi isn't quite a heartless, but she might be like a dream Kairi, like a projection of Kairi that exists, while the real Kairi exists within Sora again, like in Kingdom Hearts 1. So his method of reviving her at the end is restoring her at the cost of his own body, again, like in Kingdom Hearts 1.
It's like poetry.
Yeah, it fits.
It all rhymes.
It fits especially in with the ongoing theme of Kingdom Hearts that Sora actually states, is that ever since the first game, there are like the forces of the reality are forcing them apart.
Yeah, it seems like they are being actively kept apart.
Yeah.
Like the three of them are all being actively kept apart from each other.
Like Sora and Kairi specifically are like Sora flat out states like, every time we're together, it's only a matter of time before we're pulled apart again.
Right. Huh.
So it's explicitly a theme now.
Okay.
So
that's really interesting.
So there's just all these like these little things, little things that are, like, you could say, like, oh, that's just a visual quirk, or, like, you know, it's a way of differentiating or showing off the physics engine for the dark side, you know?
But when it all comes together and it's a bunch of things that are all kind of weird, it starts feeling less unintentional.
Mm-hmm. It feels
Okay.
less like a coincidence and more like there actually is something going on here.
Right. But I mean, yeah, you're also right that a series like Kingdom Hearts is like, you shouldn't rely too hard on fan theory.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that is really interesting, because there's just enough to be like, oh, that seems pretty compelling.
Yeah, it's a very fascinating read, and like I applaud the work they put into it to kind of like, you know, to analyze all this and piece it all together.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great read, and I like, and you know, but I personally don't subscribe to it just out of the fact that, like, oh man, if it gets proven wrong somehow, I'm going to be really disappointed.
Yeah, it's fun. It's Mass Effect 3 all over
right?
again. Yeah. I don't want to live in that state of despair when the indoctrination theory in Mass Effect 3 didn't end up being true, and it's just that Mass Effect 3 has a really shitty ending. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like a thing that nobody wants to relive again, especially if you remember that dark, extremely dark time. Nobody wants to go through that again. So yeah, I get it. But it is interesting that there is just enough there to kind of make enough people go like, wait, is this real?
Kingdom Hearts does a really great job of having things that feel kind of arbitrary and kind of only exist just to, like, be a cool thing. Yeah. Until 10 years later, and you're like, wait, what the fuck?
Wait, that was important? No!
Like,
yeah.
Like, even the fact that, like, Sora has a anti-form in 2, but a rage form in 3. Okay. Could mean something.
Okay. I was literally about to ask you, I'm like, does that mean something?
No,
are you going to tell me? It doesn't mean anything yet.
No, it doesn't.
But it could.
It could later. Like, maybe I'm wrong. It's like, things don't mean anything until they very suddenly do.
It's just like real life.
Yeah.
Nothing means anything until it does.
Maybe it's just Sora being an idiot why he forgot why he was, like, traveling to different worlds and trying to figure things out. Because he's dumb and he forgets things easily. Or maybe it's because he's done this all before and he's forgetting what he was supposed to do then.
Who knows? Although I do love me a good time loop story, so I am interested to see, like, what exactly this Remind DLC entails. And I probably will at some point. I think December is kind of a quiet month, maybe. I don't know. At some point, I'll actually play the Kingdom Hearts, just to be on top of it. Because, I mean, you know, Remind looks Kino, and, you know, if you can play as the Lingering Will, then that sounds dope.
Did you see the part where Ventus is going to do the Nero thing and surf on his weapon?
That shit's Kino as fuck. Yeah, I saw that. If Ventus says riding high, then I'm sorry. That actually does officially make Kingdom Hearts 3 a character action game. I hate to break it.
Kingdom Hearts, especially Kingdom Hearts 3, is just Devil May Cry. Like, they're the same fucking thing. It's the same game, okay?
Devil May Cry for kids, you know.
It's just baby's first Devil May Cry.
It is. There's a dude splitting himself in half, and he's got issues. There's cool action. Sora has a rainstorm. It's all the same.
There's rival battles.
Yeah.
It's like the part where the Lingering Will and Terranort clash is just fucking Dante and Virgil clashing on Temenigru. It's literally the same thing.
It's all the same. It's all the same, and it's all raw as fuck. The
last 6 hours of Kingdom Hearts 3, it's the opposite of Mass Effect 3. It's like, you know, Mass Effect 3 is like, oh, this is a pretty good game. Then the ending drops at like 6 points.
Yeah.
The ending of Kingdom Hearts 3 elevates the entire game to like a 9.5.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Like, without it, without that, it's kind of like a 7.5 and 8. Like, this thing fucking elevates it to near perfection.
That's how it should be. all good show, like all good anime. You know, I've always said that, like, you know, Future Diary is just kind of like an okay anime until it ends, and then you're like, this is the best. It's like my favorite kind of trash. That's what Kingdom Hearts 3 is, apparently. Yeah, the good ending takes you a long way.
I'm hoping that if my theory is correct about the Remind DLC, in that they'll do the second coolest thing from Nier. Which is the part where you're in a boss battle and the game will switch characters.
Oh god, that is easily one of the coolest parts in Nier Automata. You're right.
Because we know that you're going to be playing as Aqua, but especially the bit where it's Aqua using ice to guide Ventus while he Tony Hawk's all over.
Right.
That ends with the camera behind Ventus looking like you're playing as Ventus now. So maybe you're gonna switch characters, which would be really cool.
That's always cool. It extremely sucks that DMC5 never did that, because I think it's one of the dopest, like things that a character action game has ever done. I don't want to hear anybody complain to me that, like, it's not, because the ending of Nier Automata just fucking rules. Shut up. And I love that sequence. I was really bummed that 5 didn't do it. So if Kingdom Hearts 3 does it, that officially makes it at least as good as DMC 5.
I mean,
that's the rule. That's the transitive property.
Kingdom Hearts 3 already did the coolest thing that Nier did too, so
which is,
I'm not going to tell you. You have to play it. I don't want to ruin this
Ben,
for you.
Come on.
No. This I can't ruin for you.
The coolest thing that Nier Automata does.
I'm not going to ruin this for you. You have to play it and see it for yourself.
Automata has so many cool moments.
I know.
God, how dare you. You bastard. All I can think is that you somehow end up back on the title screen as part of the plot, like you do in Nier Automata, which is awesome.
You'll see when you play it. And everyone don't spoil it for her, because it's the fucking rawest.
You bastard. That's how he's gonna make me play Kingdom Hearts. Be like, there's some dope shit in 3. I'm like, alright, fine. Play your stupid Disney video game.
There's a bit where Woody Toy Story yells at the final boss of the game.
He calls him a bitch.
It's cool.
It's so dope.
There's a bit where Sully scares Vanitas and throws him through a door. It's awesome. Fucking the coolest thing ever.
Shit's so rad.
Every Disney World has like a bit where the Disney character especially gets one up on the anime boss, and it's like, this is what Kingdom Hearts has been missing.
Yeah, because like usually God love it, okay? I do love me Kingdom Hearts 2, like a lot. I played it like 6 times. But like Disney Worlds and like other Kingdom Hearts games kind of like don't really serve a purpose. I mean, they're just places to play the video game, you know?
Yeah, their presence is a lot more thematic than like overall like moving the story forward.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Like there's that one bit in 2 where Zaldin shows up and like ruined everybody's day. And it's kind of like one of the only really like plot important parts of Kingdom Hearts 2 that takes place in a Disney World, you know? Yeah. Like,
basically, like, the idea for 1 and 2 is that, like, the Disney Worlds are driving the theme of the game. Like, Kingdom Hearts 2 is a lot about, like, as an ongoing theme of, like, separation and, like, self-doubt. Like, the inability to continue forward because the thing that you wanted isn't all it's cracked up to be.
Right.
And so, like, that's present in a lot of different worlds. Whereas in 3, it's a lot more like, oh no, you're going to these worlds for a purpose. Like, you are...
There's, like, plot happening.
You're going for a goal, and the villains have reasons to be there, too, because they want to explore this thing, or they want to investigate something. Or they have the wrong idea about certain things, and it's funny.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll get around to it at some point.
Yes.
But I do feel more enlightened now, Ben.
I hope I could help explain a few things.
Is there anything else you wanted to get off your chest with regard to the Remind DLC before we call it?
The bit where Sora is talking to Naminé and he tells her to leave and to go experience the world of the sand and the sea is fucking amazing. The fact that
because he sounds so serious.
He sounds so serious, and it's great because like the whole thing is about how Sora is so willing to take in people's hearts and how to like to house them to keep them safe. And like now it's like, no, they've been here too long, they need to leave so they can have their own lives, and it's so good. Right. The whole reason like Kairi wants to save Naminé is because like she deserves to have her own life.
Right.
Oh, so good.
It's so dope. Yeah. That line in the trailer, even I was like, ooh, this shit's rad.
It's good.
It sounds so serious.
Also, like, we knew that, like, Oathkeeper was being added as, like, a free DLC. Mm-hmm. The Remind trailer is adding Oblivion. And yay! Yeah! There's that fucking bit where he's up against Zigbar and they do a fucking Old West style duel, and it's so cool. Everything in that trailer is fucking Kino shit. It's
just pure Kino. It's so absurd.
The fucking Master of Masters talking to young Xehanort and talking about false light.
So then that's the other thing is also, I have seen, again, the secret ending where Sora ends up in Shibuya. And the guy on the skyscraper, that's Master of Masters.
Yep,
right?
That's Master of Masters.
Okay. I think Nomura, like, straight up just said that, right? He's like, that's the Master of Masters.
That's him making a heart in front of the moon.
Yeah, it's real subtle. It's really dope, actually. It's kind of cool.
So,
kind of cool.
What this is indicating is that, like, the seven of that are coming back. Master Masters, Lushu, and the 5 foretellers coming back. I think they're being set up as the next villain.
That would be cool. I'm cool with new villain squad that still has Zigbar in it.
Because the one of the shots at the end is, so the whole game is framed as a chess game that young Xehanort and young Ericus are playing.
Right.
Well, chess in quotes. It's 13 against 7. You know.
It's fantasy chess.
Yeah, and at the end of it, Ericus starts a new game with 13 pieces of light and 7 pieces of darkness.
Ooh.
And there's 7 people on the foreteller's side. And
oh my god, shut the fuck up.
And there's a whole lot of new Keyblade wielders on the hero's side. Hold on, let's see. Let's see. Sora, Riku, Kairi, Roxas, Shion, Axel.
And then the three
Aquaterra Ventus, Mickey.
Yes.
It's 10.
That's 10.
Isa, Donald, Goofy. That's 13.
Donald and Goofy can use Keyblades?
No, they can't, but neither can Isa, but they're on the hero side.
Oh, okay, that counts.
There's 10 Keyblade wielders now, fully, and then there's the 3 allies.
Well,
so there you go.
There you go. God, whatever. Oh no, you're right. You probably just super called it. Oh no.
Oh boy.
Kingdom Hearts.
Oh boy. This franchise is forever.
This franchise is never gonna die. The heat death of the universe will occur, and then Nomura will pop up and be like, hey, please play Kingdom Hearts 10.
He is very quiet, but very powerful.
Very, very powerful. The man came out at E3 in shorts and a t-shirt to One-Winged Angel. I'm terrified of him now.
I'm convinced there will be a line, a character, a fucking notebook entry in the remake that'll be like, oh, there's a Heartless.
Oh, absolutely.
There's just a Heartless in this game.
Yep.
The bonus boss is a Heartless, or
the bonus boss is a Heartless or a nobody or something.
Oh, look, here's the fucking fight with the hooded figure from Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix. It's in the game. Mm-hmm. It's in this game now.
It's just in the game now. Get fucked. Yeah. Oh god. What was the other thing? Oh yeah. Just before we wrap it up, What are the chances of an actual Verum Rex game? I know, right? What are the chances that Nomura goes completely insane? Now, also, granted, there's also a good chance that Kingdom Hearts 4 will actually just have those characters in it.
So, here's what I'll say.
Okay.
There is a 15% chance it will get a game called Verum Rex.
Okay.
Whether it's a mobile game or a console game, whatever. There's a 50% chance we will receive a game you can buy or download called Verum Rex.
Yes.
There's a 100% chance Yozora will be playable.
Yeah.
In some way, in one Kingdom Hearts, you will play as Yozora.
Okay.
No. Okay, I'm going to bump that down. I'm going to bump that down to there's an 85% chance we'll play as Yozora. If we do play as Yozora, he'll be the tutorial character in the next Kingdom Hearts game.
The next numbered Kingdom Hearts game?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm cool with that. That's insane.
I have a feeling that Yozora and his gang, it's Magia and Aegis are his allies' names.
Boy, those names are real similar.
It's also like super on the nose. Like,
yeah,
Yozora is it's the same name convention as Noctis Calum. Like, it's light dark, something. It's like, and Magia is magic and Aegis is shield.
Yep.
That's why in Toy Box Rex confuses Sora, Donald, and Goofy for them, because Donald is magic and Goofy is shield.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. That's funny.
So there is if they are playable, it'll be as the tutorial.
Okay.
That's going to be my prediction for that. They're going to be
the new Roxas.
Yeah, they're going to be super important in certain ways. They're probably actually, now that I think about it, they're probably going to be the representatives of the world line concept. They're going to be alternate reality Sora, Donald, and Goofy.
Yeah, the guy's name is literally Yozora, which is just pretty close to Sora, mm-hmm. So, we'll see. Yeah, Tetsuya Nomura is really angry he didn't get to make Versus 13.
He really wanted to make Versus 13.
He's really mad he didn't get to make Versus 13. You can just tell all the time that he's just like seething about it constantly. I want Tetsuya Nomura and Hideo Kojima to collaborate, and it's just about how bitter they are about their games they didn't get to make.
You just wait. Nomura's gonna show up in fucking Death Stranding.
Oh my god, I would actually throw the controller and maybe the whole disc into the trash can and just be like, nope, this shit's cursed.
He's gonna be some scientist or something somewhere.
God, that's horrifying. You're probably right. Is Hideo Kojima or Tetsuya Nomura on each other's Twitter? That's how you know.
Right. Just scan his Kojima's Instagram for like a pic of them hanging out.
And that's how you'll know. God, that's horrifying. I'm afraid of both of them.
Nomura, like, their fucking minds, their fucking brains to have these ideas.
Galaxy brained. I'm so afraid of the Final Fantasy VII remake, but like in the best way, which by the way, we're getting that trailer in like a couple of hours. When we wake up tomorrow morning, we will probably have a Final Fantasy VII remake trailer.
God, that's so weird. It's
like waiting for Christmas morning, except 1,000 times better. So, it's fine.
Like, I'm convinced there will be a connection to Kingdom Hearts in some way. Like,
oh, absolutely. I can't get Bob's fucking from Gigaboots, their fucking gamer premonitions that like this is like a rebuild of the rebuild version. Oh god, I can't get it out of my brain. It's so insane that it's probably real. God damn it, Bob. It's probably real.
That's how powerful Nomura is, where it's just like, hey, these new things are called the Watchmen of Fate, and you're like, oh, that's a dope name. And then it's like, wait, what? But
what?
Fate doesn't exist in Final Fantasy VII. That's not a concept.
Oh, no. And then you start thinking about it for more than a few minutes and you realize you've gone completely insane and you're in a padded cell and you're just like laughing maniacally about Sleeping World theories and the Watchmen of Fate and Versus 13 and how they're all connected and, you know, they never let you out. So, that's fine. Video games! God. Kingdom Hearts, guys! Kingdom Hearts is a weird video game series, but it's fun to talk about, especially as an outsider.
I love video games so much.
I know you do, buddy. I'm excited for tomorrow. Tokyo Game Show is gonna be... By the way, Tokyo Game Show's lineup is fucking bonkers. Have you seen it?
There's so much stuff going on!
There is so many fucking video games at Tokyo Game Show this year. I'm like, I don't have any money!
They need to stop so that I can rest.
I don't have any time. I'm still not done with Fire Emblem. What are you talking about? I'm still gonna beat Fire Emblem. I really want to play Astral Chain. Demon X Machina looks cool. It never ends. And then, like, fucking The Outer Worlds is out next month. So,
like,
you know, it's fine. Help. Send help. And here you are talking about Kingdom Hearts and like time loop theories and stuff, and it's like selling me on Kingdom Hearts, and I'm like, shit, I don't have time for this. I gotta play other things.
When they put out like their second trailer that actually shows gameplay for fucking Remind, like, it's over. Like, I'm gonna fucking like,
it's over.
Man, I'm already thinking like I can probably go through the whole series before December.
Can I squeeze in another playthrough? Sure, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
I can do that. I know these games pretty well. I can probably get through everything again.
Speedrun strats. Yeah. That's what you do.
Yeah. It's fine. Probably do it. I could probably... let's see. Yeah. I could probably do up to, like, 2 in the time it takes me to do a single run through a Fire Emblem. So...
Well, Fire Emblem is a monster all on its own, so, and I'm afraid of it. I'm really afraid of the Fire Emblem episode, but that's another story. It's gonna be like 8 hours long. I hope you're all ready. It's gonna suck. It's gonna be awesome. Okay. I think I'm out of questions with regard to Kingdom Hearts, though.
Alright, that's good. I hope you have a better understanding of things.
Kinda.
Or at least you have a better grasp of what things mean, or what words mean.
I know the meaning of words now. Thank you, Ben. You have enlightened me on how to do words.
So, yeah, I'm going to be mad excited. I can't wait for a fucking release date for that. But, thank you to Broke Free for some background music. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm at The Gorge Podcast. She's at radioinactivity.
Yay.
You can email us at thegorgepodcast@gmail.com, and if you want to listen to more crazy stories about a bunch of crazy goofballs, you can listen to Sarah's other podcast.
Hey, that's a pretty good lead up. Hey, I'm in another podcast called Big Gay Nerds, where me and a bunch of cool queer friends get together and we play tabletop games. We try out lots of different systems. We have a lot of fun. Right now we're playing Pig Smoke, one of my favorite systems ever by a cool guy named Chris Longhurst, where you basically play as the professors at a magical college in America. It is a blast. I love everybody's characters. We have a new player. Jonix is in that game, and he's got a cool character, and it's just a lot of fun. You should come check us out. We're at Big Gay Nerds on SoundCloud, and you can find the rest of our social media from there. Thanks.
All right, that'll do it for us.
This one's all you, buddy.
Yeah, man. Fuck Ansem the Wise. He didn't deserve a redemption arc. That shitty old bitch.
That's out of nowhere. What did Christopher Lee ever do to you?
People are like, oh, me, I can't believe Xehanort got a redemption arc. He didn't. He forfeited. He just gave up. He didn't, like, get redeemed. He's like, alright, I quit. But fucking, they're trying to sell me, like, Ansem the Wise, who did all these fucking horrible experiments and shit, and, like, tortured a bunch of children. And he's supposed to be like, oh yeah, no, I forgive you, Dad. Or I'm sorry I was such a bad kid, Dad. Fuck you, Ansem the Wise. Ienzo deserves better than you.
Oh wait, Ienzo is his kid?
Well, adopted,
okay.
Apprentice, but he was like a little kid back then.
Okay, well, I was about to be like, wait, we're gonna have to rewind this whole fucking episode, do it all over again, just like in Kingdom Hearts, and we'll just keep doing this episode over and over again until we get it right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.